No, it's just waiting for you to start it.
Says live stream's on.
But it could be delayed.
Yeah, it's usually 17 seconds.
The camera, is our camera on?
Will be a second. Well, I guess we'll go with it, and if we can post it tomorrow, we'll post it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll wait.
All right. That was. Out of the way. All right. So it is 6:36 p.m. And I am going to call to order the Town Council Boards and Commissions Review Subcommittee for July 20th, 2026. Let's see. Yeah. The stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Councilor DeHaas.
Here.
Councilor Tanyakis.
Here.
Councilor Rada.
Here.
Have a quorum. All right. So we need to hold the election of officers so that if someone is absent, somebody is set to run the meeting. So what I will ask for is for a nomination for chairperson.
I will nominate Councilor Tanyakis.
Second.
Do you accept the nomination?
Oh, yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Congratulations, sir. Nomination for chairperson, vice chairperson, sorry.
I nominate Kelly.
You go ahead. I wanted to say something. Yeah. I'll second that.
All right, any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this point, sir, I will turn it over to you.
All right, cool. All right, moving along on the agenda, we have our public participation on agenda items.
And at this point, we have no one online with us.
Okay. All right, then moving on, the public participation, we'll look at adopting of the meeting schedule moving forward. And I guess I'll start. Monday seems to be the one day a week where I don't have many meetings, if any. So if we want to keep on Mondays, that's cool with me. I have no preference on which particular Monday though. So
Mondays are usually pretty good for me too.
The library board picks back up, I think, in September.
Correct.
yes, yeah, they do off the summer.
But we
They're
could
the
work
first
around
one.
that though.
Yeah, are they the first one of the month?
They're the second,
Second.
Yeah,
which is why I tried for the first and the third.
yeah. So if you guys first or third or last.
Because right now,
Well, they're at 7.
They're at 7, but if they do their annual meeting, that's at 6 o'clock. So that'll throw off, that's usually in September.
That's the September meeting, you're right.
but we could,
We could seal, yeah,
Yeah.
you guys could if you chose to, I don't wanna
or
take you away.
if
from
it's the
it.
second Monday, and we met the first and the third, it should be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Mondays, yeah, for me, usually any other boards or commissions are on other days of the week.
So I looked at when I planned that
I
Monday
mean,
out.
the only other day for me that's good would be a Friday, and we did that with the Cultural District Commission for,
You guys were
we all
private, yeah.
patted ourselves on the backs because we met on Fridays after work, but I wanna do it again. I'm good with Mondays.
Monday?
Do you want to aim for like every third Monday then? Stay like where we're at, and hopefully we don't have to make any kind of rescheduling.
What's today? Today's the
Today's the
20th, right?
And so how many would this take for them?
I mean, ideally, I hope that we can kind of get through this before the end of the year.
Well, we've
I don't
got,
know
if we
that's
meet
ambitious or not.
August, we would have 3 meetings. If we did the first, the third, and then we've got a
Got,
fifth meeting.
yeah, one outlier on the 31st for that too.
If we want to, if we want to do every other week.
You also have to think, if you do that, then you're gonna meet on the last of August and the first of September. You wanna think which one you wanna do that as a first and third on.
Well, that first in September, is that Labor Day?
That might be.
Yeah, when's,
Yes.
That's the
anybody
first
know
one,
when Labor
the
Day is?
7th is-
The 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 31st could work out and then the 21st.
Yeah, it works for me.
How far out do you guys wanna schedule right now?
I would be
I guess
okay.
I'm looking to you to see how many meetings you think we're
Yeah.
gonna need to get through this.
I think as we start getting into it, you'll get a better idea. A lot of it's gonna be discussion about, do you want to look at disbanding committees and consolidating them? Do you wanna look at reconstituting committees that are currently under resolution that shouldn't be? There's a couple different avenues to go there.
I think for me, once I'm clear on what each one of those designations means, then
Yeah.
we can move ahead and start looking at some of these.
So you want to plan out until like maybe October for now, and then we could always kind of,
Gets us up to the November election.
Yeah.
Have that time period off just to give everybody a little breather. We can come in the end of the month before Thanksgiving hits.
yeah, and to do a little pulse check.
Yeah.
Around.
So then that would be our 5th and 19th, when is Columbus Day? This one. What are the actual holidays?
I don't get my holidays off my job, so I don't pay attention.
I don't either, but I only know for school purposes,
There's-
that's the 12th, so.
And that's
Yeah, that's
Columbus Day.
Yeah. That would be fine.
And that gets us through actually.
Labor Day is the 7th, definitely.
Mhm.
We take the 2nd off of November, election's on the 3rd. So everybody's gonna be busy with that anyway. So we can look back to the 16th or around that period. That'll take us the week before Thanksgiving. Okay. So.
We run through the basket and we'll be done.
Alright, so if someone wants to make a motion to accept.
Second.
What's that?
Can I second?
Either two of you. I'm just gonna call out the dates.
Oh, okay.
So to accept August 3rd, August 17th, September 21st, October 5th, October 19th, and November 16th for the annual meeting schedule calendar.
So moved.
Second. Yeah.
You can take this part.
And then, oh yeah, Ryan is here, so then,
No, we were just looking at you to keep
I
going.
know, yeah, so alright, so all those in favor to accept the date stated as our tentative meeting schedule. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Alright, motion passes to yes with Kim Rather being yes.
All right.
Alright, yeah, alright, cool. Next, we'll move on to reviewing the subcommittee charge, which is resolution 2026-12. I'll just read it out loud.
Right on the screen for you.
Oh, perfect. So this was passed by the council on February 15th, is that correct?
February 10th.
February 10th. Right, so it states. Resolution 2026-12 resolves that the town council hereby establishes a town council board and commissions review subcommittee consisting of 3 members of the town council and charges it with making recommendations for consolidation and or eliminating inactive or duplicative town boards and commissions. So that is what we are doing.
All right.
We have that there.
So
Any questions about that?
part of your packets. You received a listing of every board and commission that we have been tracking since 2007. We have older ones that are actually on dot matrix, but that's a whole other project. Anything in red, we have officially disbanded as a current committee. Even though our 2022 charter revision pretty much continues every 10 years and you guys can bring it up more often than you choose to. We do consider that when disbanded upon the report being accepted by the town council and sending out for the referendum by the general public. You see that one, just know it's in your charter, but we just shut down each one and reconstitute a new one each time.
And if they're in red, then they're not on the website.
I cannot say they're not on the website, that I did not get a chance to go
So
to
they
and
might be-
verify. All I can tell you is, they're not currently active and we don't accept appointments to them in the office. Makes it a little easier in tracking.
So we can. It's like some of them have been this for a while. And they're just on the records still, is that?
They'll always be on the record, so there's always gonna be a permanent historical archive for us. We'll get conversations from different departments going, hey, I have a person who's resigning, they've been on the commission for 15 years. Can you tell me what else? Same thing with the counselors, we will actually track each of your histories, and at the end of your terms, you receive either a Hitchcock chair or a rocker. And it usually has your term of office and commissions you were on actually on brass plaque.
All of the commissions?
Yeah, what?
All the commissions, yes.
How big are these plaques sometimes?
As large as it needs to be on the
Oh my
back.
goodness.
So,
So where it says disbanded, we have really no action to take on that. Where
Anything
they
that has a
don't say
disbanded.
disbanded.
yeah, so.
The red ones assume that we've already got some reasoning that it's been disbanded,
Okay.
okay? If there is a reason you think something should be disbanded and isn't on here, that's a research project, which will come to me to go through the old minutes and just confirm that, yes, the council took action on that or no.
Okay.
A good example of that will be on the, let's see. I believe it is on page 6. Newington Housing Needs Study Committee. That committee was specifically put together to create a study on housing needs within Newington. The resolution was approved back in 2014. They had a cutoff date, I believe, of November to supply that to the council, which I believe has happened. But we don't have a disbanding in that committee. So that's a perfect example of something we still need to get before the council, officially disband it, and just be done with it.
Okay.
So those are the things that I'll pull together history for you as we go along.
Then,
What do we think is the easiest way to attack this?
I was gonna say, do you wanna just start from the top down and?
Well, the question will be, which way do you guys want to go about it? Do you want to look at, so the book I gave you this evening is the Code of Ordinances.
Mhm.
The Code of Ordinances is either going to have the board created in it under chapter 8 or its own separate chapter, or it's going to be in our charter. So a good example would be if you open up your book to chapter 8. They're very resilient tabs, and double-sided, so they're easy to find. Yes.
Should be in charge of all the books.
So part 1, administrative legislation?
No, you're going to.
Oh, chapter.
Yeah.
That's okay. You'll notice on that page of a listing of different boards and commissions. Got the housing housing commission. You've got the permanent municipal building commissions. Your public building commissions are listed in there as well. You've got youth adult council, numerous different committees. So these ones mean, if they're in this book, that means the council has passed an ordinance and codified it. In the case of, let's go down the list here a little bit. In the case of the audit committee, would be a good example. That one is simply passed by a resolution. Now, I don't agree with the resolutions in this binder. Currently it says 2012-58. We've had the audit committee for well past 2012. So that was an appointment of members only. I'm still looking for the original creation of that commission. Goes back many years. But let's go back down through. A lot of them you're going to see are they're going to either say code or charter. So easy things to sort of knock out of the corner there. A good one that's a good example is going to be the Commission Guidelines Subcommittee. So inside of each of your books, you have this book, which is the Boards and Commissions booklet. It's at the front of it. No, right in the front of the tabs. I know, we have a lot of information, sorry. So inside of it, you have the Boards and Commissions booklet. That committee, we have not disbanded, although we did create it by a resolution. Question is, do you want that to be a permanent or recommendation of the council? Would that be a permanent committee and codify it? Or are you comfortable staying with it as a resolution? It was originally created to go over the Boards and Commissions booklet. It was last revised, I think, in 1991. This one that's now, 1983, 89, 93, and then in 2018. So it had been a long period of time. With the changes in technology, it made sense for us to update it. And you guys have, the council has done it twice in the past 6 years, so in 2019 and again in 2023. Does it make sense to make the recommendation that commission within the resolution and create a standing town council committee that meets when directed? And I'm not asking for a direction on that right now. I'm just giving that a good example of something.
Tell me if you guys agree or disagree, but I think if there are a handful or more that we think can be disbanded and just have not been, we start with that as an upfront list, knock those out. Because I think that would be an easy way to reduce this list down quickly. And then focus in on the ones that we may need a little more. Does that work?
I know, well, you came in and did a presentation
Yes.
to the council and kind of, I mean, we know that there's some that,
Yeah, you've got that list in your packet as well.
yeah. Of why haven't they been disbanded?
Right.
So Kimberly stepped away. He said, for instance, on page 6, we have the Newington Housing Needs Study Committee. And he's going to make sure they provided the report or the study that they were charged with. So that was from 2014. So it's not.
And I can't remember if it's in our ordinances or isn't that there's supposed to be
So
every so many years, there's a review of
that's a
or another report, a review and a report?
not on that one specifically. That one was specifically just a housing report. You're thinking of the current language that was implemented in 2021 and has been revised. That's a completely different process. We actually did this before the state did. So before they even passed the statute regarding this, Newington was already doing it.
Okay, because I remember looking at that last report, I can't remember what the date was, but
It was 2014. I think it ended up being October.
Okay.
And I do have that in our repositories. So,
and nothing has been done since.
well, we did the update to it under Paul Dixon. Then he did a small revision to that.
Okay,
I'm sorry, we did the update under Keith Chapman and Paul Dixon did an update to that one again.
Okay,
So in 2020, when Renata Bertati was here, she started that first one,
okay,
and then he did a revision to it. So,
all right.
but it's a different board than what we created in 2014. Even though,
If they're
even
doing
though
that
we used it.
holistically, yeah.
Yeah, so really, if the statute is still in place, and I do have to check on that because Paul actually did make a comment about that, indicating there were some changes to the language. We want to check and see what the statutory requirement is, and if it is, make sure this one's disbanded, create the commission that's proper for the town, and go forward.
Okay.
Is there a different process for disbanding the whatever commission, if it's based on ordinance or code or?
So ordinance, we've got the process of repeal, so we go through the same process as we would do to approve an ordinance, to repeal an ordinance. On a resolution, that's simply an action of the council to repeal a previously adopted resolution. That's all you need to do on that. That one's a little easier.
I was gonna say that, so those are probably the ones that we want to focus on first, just because we did.
Yeah.
Call them the low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
I
So,
think that'd be best and it will help us narrow the
Focus.
scope, yeah.
Exactly.
correct. One, and I'm not picking on this one, another one to look at specifically, as we were discussing, just like the housing needs study, is open space. So that one has been recreated twice as a resolution, but they are a committee that keeps going. So that may be one that we definitely want to recommend, create it, codify it, put it in the code, make sure that we understand what their required duties are. So right now, the way that their resolution is written, the council directs them. So you don't really receive any direct input from them until you guys decide on something. So, but does that make any sense?
Yeah.
If you have a committee regarding open space, wouldn't you want them to bring it to you versus you as the council saying, go look at this?
right,
You know, let them look at your P O C D, determine the areas of the town that make the most sense and bring that to the council and discuss part of the land acquisition fund, whether that money is available and bring it forward that way. So that's something to discuss as well.
okay.
And we can pull the 2015 off of it.
Well, that as well. So if you'll notice, there's two there.
Yes,
There's the regular committee that I talked about before, which started in 2009.
Yeah.
And then the 2015 one, which we reconstituted
So the original one was disbanded in 2015
to create.
at the same time that the new one was created.
Correct. And we do that quite a bit. We're gonna recreate a new committee. We did that a lot. If you look down through here with the town hall project ones, you've got a 2012, a 2014, a 2016. Then we've got the one that went through 2016, which created this building. So there's quite a few in here.
So a question,
Yes.
and maybe you answered it while I was out. Why would, I mean, yes, it says yes, that the original open space committee is inactive. Why is it still on our list if?
Well, this is a historical.
Because it has, okay, all right, so
So
it's.
this is tracking everything
Since 2007.
since 2007, correct?
Okay,
So there was not enough time, unfortunately, to go through and determine, you know, here's a resolution, here's a disbandment, here's an
Okay.
inactive or not. I thought it was better for you guys to see the amount of commissions we create as
Yeah.
well.
yeah,
And does it really make that much sense to make that many of them or make commissions that actually handle multiple duties
right,
with less volunteership that you need?
yeah.
So. And a lot of them are just tracking town offices. You've got superintendent of schools, our agent of record, our town attorney, our town auditor, the town council. I don't know why we track them.
Gotta watch them every minute.
Every. So, okay, so I will throw together a list of everything that we have as a resolution. I actually had somebody do a project on it for me a few years back. Making copies of all of those. And we can pull those together, verify the old minutes, make sure if there's any disbanding that's been done, we're clear on it. Otherwise, we'll bring those forward. You guys can motion to push them to council to disband completely.
I don't think we're gonna get a lot of pushback from the council.
I don't think so either.
It's just, it's so messy, it's so confusing. It's great to have an historical
Oh, yes.
record, of course, but
Yeah.
you know, even for people that outside of those of us in the building.
Experience it.
Yeah, to have to go on the website and try to hunt through and see what they really are looking for and which one is the one that they need to find out more about. And also, if we're asking people to be on boards and commissions, too, we want the most up-to-date list and the most up-to-date information to be able to handle.
Exactly. And the website, as we discussed at the council meeting in January, that's gonna get whittled down. We're finishing up on the upgrade to that software, we're getting the administrative requirements put in place for that. And then we'll be able to pull off the oldest information, put that into a fully searchable database across the entire series of minutes. And then just have current year that we're in and 2 years prior. So every year, that last year moves in and the new one starts. It stays
Oh, that's good.
just that little bit. And then older committees that don't need to be there, they're in the archive, they're accessible. So we'll start with the disbanding of resolution. Let's do that.
It's the second best place to go after disbanding resolutions.
At that point, we're really getting into discussing whether or not certain committees should be consolidated, is what we're looking at.
That'd be the next task.
That'd be your next task, I believe. May want to look at, I keep picking on this committee, maybe you want to look at open space becoming part of conservation. It may be too unwieldy for them to manage all of that as well. But maybe the Environmental Quality Commission and the Open Space Commission working together makes more sense.
I know you had those recommendations in here, I guess.
Having been liaison to conservation, Gail and I for many years, I would let them
Stay in their
They're
wheelhouse.
busy enough,
they are.
when they're busy, and
Yeah.
they're busy enough, and they have their own sets of requirements and education
They
and
do.
everything that they have to maintain, so.
Yeah.
I think it's best to probably keep them.
I like having an open space committee or open space combined with something else, and that's what they focus on, and then they can bring information.
You look at it this way, the Environmental Quality Commission looks at earth projects in reality. And that's what Patty Foley always did under it. The open space is looking at that same way. They're looking at preservation, they're looking at preservation as well.
Right.
So it sort of makes
Well, and
sense.
acquisition.
Acquisition
If
as well.
there's,
If there's money for it,
yeah,
and it's accessible for the council to be able to take that land and bring it into the town's open space area, makes sense.
and we talk about this,
Every budget.
Well, yeah, and just, this is a bipartisan or even, it's a nonpartisan issue.
Right.
Always looking at open space and preserving what we have, so, yeah.
We don't have a lot of that.
No, we don't.
But the nice thing is the book that you've got, you can look into there, open space information's in there, land acquisition funds are in there in chapter 48. You can see the information and
I was gonna say, if we're gonna tackle the resolutions that we can clean up.
Yeah.
I don't know I guess depending on how many there are, it may or may not take us too long to make that decision. And then if we start moving into maybe what's being recommended as consolidation and we can flag where we need to go. And quickly,
definitely.
you seem to have this memorized, which is mildly concerning, but also appreciated.
Why, thank you.
So if there's some on there that you think are very similar in charges to the groups, if you can sit there and say, all right, here's where we're gonna be looking, please do your little bit of homework and read it before you come in here. And
I give you a
flag it
warning.
for me.
Yeah.
If you can flag it for me, then I can go through and read it and say, okay, I agree that these are very similar and I think they're doing the same thing, or
Yeah.
here's where they're different. Can we actually combine them and pull those together, or does it make sense to keep them separate?
No.
I just want to be efficient here.
Yes, and that's the whole purpose. We're not looking to make this an unwieldy process, We talked about what's coming off, the main ones that we looked at was the standing insurance committee, that one's just a minor error, I've got to get them to change through the codification process. We did recommend the conservation versus
Open space versus.
open space
environmental.
versus
Yeah.
environmental in that one. The Affordable Housing Monitoring Agency, that one's the new statutory one that we were talking about. That's different than the Newington Housing Needs Study Committee. So that's where that confusion comes into play.
Okay.
So the housing needs was the report from 2012, the affordable
Okay.
housing monitoring. That's a little bit different. That one is actually one that we utilize for one of the housing projects that we have in town on Main Street, right across from the transfer station. So anytime
Okay.
one of those houses is sold, they have to be reviewed under the Affordable Housing Monitoring Agency, under the ordinance. Actually, that one's actually a resolution, actually, I believe. It's actually in their deeds that way. So there's not much we can change with that one. Not to say we can't codify it, which we just double check chapter 840, no, sorry, chapter 8. I want to say maybe it is codified.
Which one is it?
Affordable Housing Monitoring Agency. Okay, chapter 59, sorry.
It's like, I don't see it.
So we have codified that one. So,
Housing partnership, yeah.
So that
Housing
one is-
monitoring agency, article 2.
right, so we may need to look at the statutes and what has changed and still incorporate the requirements of the housing project.
Gotcha.
So that's something that's gonna be a twofold. Affording affordable age restricted housing study committee, you know, we get very long names in this town.
So this one here, it says 8, oh, that's CGS.
Yeah, that's CGS. And we try to include any section either of the charter, the resolution number itself, or the general statutes that it applies to it. Just helps us to track it down the line.
And these commissions listed here, I'm assuming they haven't met. And
These are all coming off.
yeah, like.
Yes, these are all coming off of the website. They're all completed. They have all been disbanded. But they are still on our website.
Yeah, but we need to officially bring this to the council.
Nope.
Oh,
This
Oh,
has,
oh, really?
page one has nothing to do with you guys at all.
okay.
We disbanded the 150th when they finished their projects, the 2022 commission, the age restricted, the blight committee we took care of, the education, all of those items have been disbanded. The only reason they are on this list is because they're on our website. So we've got 20 commissions on there that really have no reason being there anymore.
That's fine.
So once we get the software up and running for Laserfish, all of those move in, they become an access point from a hyperlink directly to the archive. That's where everybody can go for those.
So these ones are the ones in red.
Yes.
Most- yeah.
Yep, okay.
You're gonna find these in red.
Got it,
Exactly.
got it.
Yeah, anything on page 2 of that memo from January, those are the basic ones that stood out. Number 7, of course, we're not gonna be able to do anything with for quite some time. That's not to say you may not want to look at just making a recommendation that says, as soon as John Wallace, Anna Reynolds are cleaned up, and if we figure out what we're doing with the library addition renovation committee, those are our last 3 PVCs. Actually, I take that back. Well, no, once the referendum passes for the firehouse, we should be moving that one up to the permanent municipal. So that'll be the last 3 PVCs that we have on the record.
Maybe Reynolds is wrapping up.
And a Reynolds project will wrap up. We'll still have a few years for the audit by the state. Same thing with John Wallace, just for any additional funding, and then we'll get our full reimbursement, and then we can close those out.
Yeah, we had, well, at the meeting on Thursday for John Wallace, they are right on target with their timeframe, which is good, so.
Let's hope the state is.
Well, that's a whole
Yeah, I
other
don't
thing,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know Patterson's getting their roof, I drove a bunch of times, like, should be fun.
All right. So, that takes care of that piece. Do you guys have questions of me?
No. I mean, I personally don't, I don't know if you guys wanna kind of just skim through what we have in front of us now and maybe just try to identify. Something that we could put in like a chopping block for next time. You guys want to save
You want-
some more information?
Well, I think if he comes up with the resolutions, the ones that are
That'll
done
be
on the
a first review.
resolution, then we would potentially be able to bring those forward to clear them out.
Yep.
At the next meeting, James will come back with that list, and if we don't think that's gonna take more than 20 minutes to go through.
In
maybe
addition to
we
that, I'll go
start-
through in the book itself and give you guys some flaggings, to start looking at.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe.
that's nice. Okay.
No participation.
A long awaited public participation. Do we by chance have anyone online?
We do not have anyone online.
I think we should call Rose.
I'm gonna say someone needs to ping Rose.
I feel like we have to.
But I don't care if it's your dinner time, Rose. It's supposed to be your public participation.
She didn't text me to say she couldn't see it, so.
Okay, well then moving on, any comments by counselors?
I'm just glad that we're starting this process.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this for a couple of years,
Yes.
and, you know, after your presentation, I'm glad that we're moving forward with it.
I'm woefully optimistic that we can be very productive and get this done in a very timely manner.
I concur.
Yeah.
James, all of your assistance with that would be.
I mean, with you on it.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I came
It's like, like, you have this memorized, and I'm concerned, but very appreciative.
Let's just say, I would be happy to get rid of the 80-page boards and commissions list and whittle
I
that
was gonna say,
down.
it's gonna make your life a lot easier.
Yes.
Like,
Just the tracking, and it's not just tracking for me, it's tracking for you guys too. Who's the volunteer who's gonna come out for this? Oh, I'm resigning from this, now I gotta grab something else. Oh, wait, they're on that board. Oh, wait, the ordinance doesn't allow them to be on that board.
The member list, the vacancy list, the.
Yes, the expiring list. So, yes, most definitely. All right,
Oh, yeah, then at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
I
Any opposed?
7:12.
We are good to go.
thank you for this.
Yes.